Every so often my workouts get stale, and one of my first fixes for that is I try to add intensity to my workouts. And one of my favorite tools to add intensity to my workouts is something called the drop set. Now the drop set is exactly like it sounds. Essentially, I'm gonna start with a heavy weight, I'm gonna do a sufficient amount of reps, and then I'm going to drop a little bit of load off of that weight, and I'm gonna do a couple more reps. What this does is it gets me closer to failure on every single set, and we know from the science that proximity to failure is critical when we're trying to build muscle and build strength. The closer we get to that every single set, the more we are pushing for those gains. So I'm gonna run you through my 4 favorite exercises that I like using in drop sets. You can do them all with dumbbells. But before I do, there are 2 huge mistakes that people make when they do drop set. The biggest mistake, they are not going hard enough on the front end of the drop set. You've got to push yourself to the limit on the first rep so that you only have a couple reps on the second phase in order to get the most out of this. The second mistake people make, they take way too long to switch the weights in between the first and second phase. It's got to take less than 10 seconds, and it's got to be as quick as possible. We want this all to feel like one big set. Now let's get to work and let's have some fun. You know legs are important, so we're gonna start off with probably my favorite lower body move to drop set. So I want you working with this goblet squat. For anywhere from 6 to 10 reps. And once I start to fatigue, drop a sizable amount of weight, around 50 to 60% of the load I had before. So I had maxed out my SmartFit bells before. Now it's a little bit more manageable. Let's get one more. Our first drop set, the goblet squat. Goblet squat covers everything: quads, glutes, hamstrings, my abs on top of that, and a little bit of aerobic system. As you can hear from my voice, you gotta push yourself to the limit with your dumbbells. So I'm maxing them out, hitting 100. One of the things you really want is that heavy adjustable dumbbell to attack this one. So goblet squat smashes our legs. Now let's go to everybody's favorite. We gotta get a chest drop set in. We're not gonna go to a traditional dumbbell press though. Instead, what we're going to work is going to be a single arm incline press. Reasons I really like the single arm incline press instead, mostly because it's gonna let us train heavy, but we get to do it with a single load, which just makes for easier switching. And make sure you're going hard on these. You should be pushing your limits just like that. Watch this rep. Because that's how hard you want the drop set to be. That's how we know we're close to our limit. Then we're switching quickly. Remember, you gotta get that quick switch. So I took 25 pounds off there, right back to work. Another thing I like to do on the second half of a chest drop set, really get time to pause and live in that stretch position, which we know is really, really good for muscle growth and strength development. That winds up being our second drop set. One of the things I really like too, not taking a ton of time, but really pushing my cardio capacity in addition to building strength and muscle. That's our number 2. We hit legs and chest, but if you want a well-rounded physique, you gotta hit your back too. My favorite drop set for the back is going to be this incline elbows flared row. So a lot of people would think we're just gonna do a standard incline row here. That's gonna hit our lats. But when we go to the elbows flared row, we wind up hitting 2 muscle groups that are a little bit underappreciated whenever we're doing back. And that is our rhomboids and our rear delts. Those are also big superhero muscles. And I'm really into trying to push for that. The other benefit of it is we also get to go a little bit lighter. So you hit 2 heavyweight drop sets. I like to think of 2 lighter weight drop sets on the back end. Make sure that you push your limits on the front end of that drop set. We're going to lower the load and then bang out a couple more reps. Thing I like to do on the back end of a back drop set is push for a 3-second pause. One thing we don't often feel with our back is that really, really deep contraction. And when we get that 3-second hold at the top, really takes me all the way to my limit. So that's our back exercise, and it hits your lats, but also the often forgotten rhomboids and rear delts with a pretty heavy load. That's our number 3. First 2 exercises were worked. Now we're on to the fun part. We're gonna hit arms. And arms, basically, were born for supersetting. We're gonna lead off with spider curls. So we're gonna attack spider curls here. And again, going heavy to start. I try to get a good squeeze at the top of each of these reps. One thing I really like about the spider curl for drop sets is my form winds up really tight because I'm on the bench. After we push ourselves, we come back again, working for that very quick switch. Even the switching winds up quicker on a drop set when it comes to arm exercises. Once again, trying to take myself as far as I possibly can. Make sure that you're going to your limit. Let's get one more. A little bonus here, they lend themselves very well to triple drop sets. So now I've got 2 drops in there, push myself a little bit closer to fatigue, but we're getting ourselves that much closer to failure. And as we know, proximity to failure is proximity to muscle. Let's get one more here. So once we've got that covered, you do 2 to 3 sets of that, you'll have a really good biceps pump. Overall, if you hit 3 sets of each of these exercises, you've got yourself a really good full body workout, to be honest, and you can do that 3 times a week. You're totally covered. If you don't have dumbbells that can get you through it, you want a heavy pair. SmartFit's new 100-pound adjustables are great for that, and they're quick switching. Hope you guys like this video, and if you want any other videos or you want to see any of the workout styles, we've got you covered. Just let us know.